I'm coming, guys. One moment. Okay. All right. Hey, y'all. Look at that. Yeah. How amazing. I start out with a Ronnie Lawson picture. One second. Okay. Muffin Top is in the house. Wait, let me let all them know in the house I'm on live. You go out. Okay. Welcome in, everybody. Just because I start out with my first photo says Ronnie Lawson doesn't mean anything about him directly. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Who the hell knows? Muffin Top, we missed you yesterday. Welcome in, Vanessa. Welcome on in. Welcome my subscribers and my members. Thumbs up on your way in. I see you guys are getting that going. Thank you very much. And please subscribe if you haven't. Jess is coming soon. GH White, welcome. So the last couple days have been quite interesting because I'm focusing in on hygiene. Little Miss B, Jessie, riding solo. I'm focusing in on Mary C, Lisa, hi. This is wonderful. Monday's always Shazam. Monday's always fun day, right? Colleen. Okay. I'm focusing in on going back. Hello. And I'm going back to the first 90 days that Summer went missing. And I believe this is part 3. I'm just part 3 of the, I'm just going to call it series Enough is Enough. Because going back shows you like enough is enough. That shows you everything that we need to look at this issue we have with these kids. Got gone, get gone, just gone. They're just missing. They're just gone. Is right in the beginning of each of these cases. Just like Ronnie Lawson says, children, but Sheriff Lawson says, children don't just go missing. And that's a pretty huge statement to make the first 2 weeks of Summer being missing. That was on a few of the videos. Ronnie Lawson, the sheriff, which I have that straight. That was on one of the videos I'm reviewing this afternoon. Because children just don't go missing. They just don't disappear when they're in front of you in 1 second and just gone the next without a trace, without a lead, with nothing. I don't believe they do. I don't. I believe that something something is left there for us to grab onto. Something is left for those that are at least around the area to gravitate towards and get some sort of information. And Summer Moon Wells, it sure sounded like there were a lot of people on her property when she went missing. There are a lot of people coming and going, and I in my full heart know she didn't just go missing. It's a pattern. Hi, Fiona. It's a pattern that happens for when these kids that fall under Summer Moon Wells missing children, they get this sentence. They were just gone. She was just gone. She was just gone. I knew she was taken because she was gone. I knew she was abducted. Quote unquote. Don Wells. So I'm going back because I see a pattern. And that pattern is week number 1, day number 1, the information that is coming through. Let's put it this way. The truth is there's only one truth. Okay? There's only one truth. And it's either the truth of the story is coming from the news or the truth is coming through YouTubers. Because the information in the story coming through the news is completely different than the video and the footage coming through YouTube creators that were there in the beginning. So what I see is I've been focusing in on YouTube creators' videos, saying they're changing them, which they are. They're being deep faked, which they are. The information doesn't match, which it doesn't. They'll show, the red barrel one way, all the red barrel, those who don't know, the red barrel that says for sale that Summer Moon Wells is dancing in front of, will show all beat up and completely old in the YouTube videos, but yet we'll see it in these local news stations as a bright white brand new barrel that was never touched. So it can't be both. It's got to be one or the other. Either it was brand new and the news has it the correct way, or the YouTube people that are putting it up there for the first time have it the correct way. It can't be both ways. And that's what I'm saying. And I'm saying that the information that we've been looking at is showing it completely different in whose ever video that you look at. So I'm just reviewing a little bit from the other day to show you that this is what I'm doing. So this one says 5 months. I think that's as far back as I'm going. But I'm really focusing on the local news stations that are affiliated with national news stations, ABC, CBS, NBC. Here to June. Lisa, saw your video on 1. You asked for a poll way back. I don't know when that was. It's hard for me to remember those things. See March because the trees were bare compared to June. I don't know what that means. Ugh. So couple of the news stations I'm really focusing in on. One of them is this WVLT TV. I'm not saying anyone is lying. I'm saying that their information shows completely differently than I've ever seen before. And that could be just because I've been using, I've been taking information to show you guys what I see within my third eye for granted. Like I'm like, oh, I'll just, take the news information off of the YouTube creator because it's not their video anyways. It's the national news station. Well, it isn't, because the same footage that comes raw from them appears differently than if I grab it from a second source. Okay? So I'm grabbing this stuff from the main source for this particular series of information. And it's because I'm finding the information is matching perfectly to my storyboard. The storyboard that I see within my third eye. And it's within these stories. So I showed this yesterday. This is a little picture of summer. And through my third eye, they're in a hole down under. And this little door here that shows a window of some sort within the flag. That shouldn't be there at all, but it is. And that, what I'm saying, reflects the truth to me better than any other swing video. The video that I'm getting from this news station showed the swing video the best that I know it to be true. And it's not the normal swing video that you guys watch. So everything I do and say here falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. It's entertainment purposes, you guys. This is just my thought process. This is educational entertainment purposes. This is what I see. Nothing's been proven true nor false. It's just what it's how I see it, and this is how I've seen it before I was even introduced to who Summer was. I had one of my premonitions, I had one of my visions just yet this morning. And those are my clairvoyant visions. Those are visions that speak to me. And I know the difference when one is telling me the truth versus one that I'm just dreaming to let go of stress that represents maybe something that happened during the day, blah, 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 whatever. However the mind works, we all don't really know, right? Who knows? But it's the same vision, you guys, that I have had since day one. It's a gas station. And these cars are pulling to these gas stations. And what I saw because in my vision, I was trying to run after the car because it had a child in it, in the back seat. What happened was there was a car. Again, it's always the same side of the road. The gas station is on my right, so this gas station was where the sun sets. Where the sun sets would be over its right hand side. And the gas, some car was already pulled up at the pump and another car drove in. I think it was maybe an undercover cop car, but it was the undercover cop car, white, that had the child in that car. and he pulled the child out and threw it in a different car in the back seat. And it's the same sidewalks. It's the same feeling. They pull up to the pumps, and the visual, it's like it's a truck or something comes and hides what you're not supposed to see. I wasn't supposed to see the child being pulled out of one car into another. It's being pulled out of a white car into another car, but I saw it, but no one else is supposed to see it because the vision, whatever it's called, the visual, it's blocked by a truck, you know? So I see those kind of things, right? And I saw that this morning. Now, usually I see something like that because a child's going to be missing within 3 to 4 days, or it happened 3 or 4 days ago. It's within a time frame. So it's like either it's something that's about to happen or it's something that just recently happened. But I feel as if it wasn't the Summer that we know. It's a new person. This new child is about 5 years old, and that's what I saw. And that happens when I start going, when I start like a new series, when I go into a different corner of what I do. It's I never know what I'm going to do. I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't prepare this shit. It's exhausting, right? Sometimes I get on here and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. I don't know how I'm going to make it through. And then all of a sudden my energy pops up because I'm in my space. I'm in the space that works for me. I'm in the space of who I am, right? It's when I get exhausted is when I'm going against my grain. And many times that's because my physical self, my mental self is trying to figure out why I'm seeing these things. And I'm bashing my head against the wall, and I can't do that because that's not how I get my answers. And many a times that, I forget myself and it depletes me. It's exhausting. For who I am and when I'm in my true purpose, I need to just let it free flow. And it's not always easy to let it free flow. I don't just come on here and just free flow. I have to allow myself to do that, like by almost doing nothing and allowing it to come through. And that means that I can't be critical of myself. I just have to trust myself and let it come through. And Summer Moon Wells really helps me do that. We're here trying to bring these children justice as much as they are here guiding me through this walk. It takes a group like you guys, and what I'm doing here, I'm not doing it alone. So those who come in, and I love the kind words that you guys say. It's awesome. It makes me feel so good, but I want you guys to know that I can't do this without you guys. It's just how I work. Maybe some clairvoyants, some mediums, they could do it all alone and they can't talk to anyone and they can't, open up chat and they can't do it that way. That's how they do it. I found how it works for me best through Summer Moon Wells Missing Children. And it's becoming extremely intense for me, you guys. There is an intensity that is building. I feel it within the energy of my own body. There's a road that I have crossed over into a very intense part of these stories. And I don't know exactly where it's coming from, but it's extremely intense. And I don't know if it's because the truth is being recognized. I won't know that because I'm not the law enforcement. I'm not the FBI. I'm not the TBI. I'm not on the Idaho for murders and get information passed my way to pat me on my back and tell me, oh yeah, that really helped us. I don't get that. No one in this fucking world is ever going to say that someone who speaks to the dead helped them. No way. But there's something that's going on a level that is working. I could just go from my frickin' how I feel. And it's very intense. It's very like that, like my deep breaths, you know? Like I know that when I show something like this, you guys, there's someone watching that is looking at this, and I said this the other time, that is new, that knows what this is. They see it. They know that represents Summer's face. You see, it's the people that know the story, know that this is important. You guys, like, it can make me feel very emotional, because the things that I am showing you through these local police departments is nothing less than the truth. And I don't frickin' know what else to do with it. It's filled with truth for me, because when I look at these two photos, literally tears are running down my eyes, because I know that the photo here, I'm being told, all this photo is doing is telling us that is Summer. Just as this that comes from their local news station, this is Summer. Why is it that I am getting these photos that are matching and they're telling the same story? The only thing that I can say that that I know to be the truth is just my truth. That it's shown to me, and I can't grab this shit any faster than I have been lately. It's flooding in. It's a new valley of information that is flooding through. Because this, my friends, is Summer. And I've never seen it this way before. It's very, very, very difficult spiritually for me to not get emotional, because tears and emotion for me is my truth. And this here, let me make this one smaller. This here, the only thing I could say that I know to be the closest to the truth, I could just tell you what my soul is doing and what my insides are doing, right? And they're crying, you know, they're this is overwhelming me. And this is what Hawkins County news information is doing to me. It's making me sick inside. And I know that that means it's the truth. And I know that no fucking law enforcement is going to be like, oh wow, WCIA has the truth because she's crying. I'm not that ignorant, right? I understand that. So I could just keep showing you the way that I see it, because the photos that were shown in the beginning our summer moon wells is one photo. All they did was fucking layer it all together. And the county that did it best was the county in which she went missing. So once in a while, it's hard to shake it, because there's no outlet that this is going, right? To any kind of law enforcement that's going to be like, yeah, this is the milk photo. This is the photo of her in the car. This is the photo of her in by the tree. This is the photo of her in the stones. This is the photo of her dancing. This is every photo put into one. That's all it is. That's all they did. Is this photo, is every photo that they used in the beginning. Please tell me how she could have that jacket on in the picture of her at the tree. How is it that Hawkins County has every fucking photo of her and they all align within the pink jacket? Please. How? How's that possible? And what I'm saying is I see it so clearly. And there's someone watching that sees it as they saw it in the beginning. They see that I have the truth here. The person that is putting this on the airways like this, it's all coming from the local fucking news station. It's the YouTube creators that then take it and keep adding to it. I do not believe that the newscasters would be taking the YouTube creators' information and putting it on air. Right in the beginning, and I kept saying, you guys, Libby and Abby, the way that what they had at the tree by the, I found the initial photo. The initial photo came from the news station. I knew it. It came from the video that, I think this is June. Here, it's the next slide. June 20th. Right there, it says this was on their property. So this came directly from WVLT. And in the corner, whoever's talking, it's marked. So this, I think this was here. The dates on the side. That says June 20th, June 19th, 3:14. TBI Bureau put this out right when Summer went missing. Someone retweeted it on June 19th. And then they continue. So this was put out right when she went missing, right? No, I don't see this anywhere else. But this is significant. This matches Libby and Abby's way of the way that their sticks are. But yet nobody talked about it on YouTube. A couple people did, because I did. A couple stations talked about it, and then we had one. I kept a photo of it. And like, Dick, I know that came from the news station. You guys, this is like a photo that came from, I believe, one of their helicopters. From a drone, from above. It kind of looks like someone put something else here, right? Because it's really white. But I don't give a shit because this came from the news. This is real white. This is a stick across. This stick goes this way. This is the section that I showed you guys that's filled with water. Allegedly. So it's quite interesting because this is so important. Everything that was around this tree was removed. They moved it because whenever they came back to that property, they moved it. I remember chatter about it. I remember the chatter. Remember the chatter. Where that green car was that we did the presentation, part 2, is where this is. So this was after this. But yet, they have all the footage. Right? They have all the footage. That information that I went over, so I went over that on part 2, as well as introduced to you this story where it says 5-year-old missing for 2 weeks. I showed you what I saw within these photos. And what I saw was the story of Bob Vaughn's machinery that I called the blueprint. I showed you guys how these were the same. These pieces of machinery. And that they're not showing, to me, they might be showing a printer. I don't see a printer. On WVLT TV, I see the equipment that Bob Vaughn built, specifically for this situation. Why do I see it? I don't know. Do I know this is true? No. I will not know until somebody comes forward. I'm going to speak it as entertainment educational purposes and speak it as though this is showing you the equipment that's used for these sacrifices, because that's what I'm being shown. I don't show anything here that has anything to do with, that has nothing to do with the SUMMERWELLS cases. The information here is showing the equipment. This here consistently matches. Consistently is matching back to Bob Vaughn's equipment. The pinpoints, what I see and hear, is nothing more than SUMMERWELLS cases. It's important for you guys to see and recognize that I keep going back to information that I keep showing you to reinforce the fact that all of this is one. These show all these little different fingers. They show round ones. They show little ones. They show flat ones. This is what they've always done. This is doing something which I call part of the sacrifice. I have 700 plus videos, you guys, that go over this information. This information that I pegged as the equipment shows all these different fingers, all this different information, because fingers are removed, and this is all part of it. This, what I showed you guys in Bob Vaughn's videos, removes the fingers. It shows you right there. Look at the thumb. I can't get into details of all exactly what they're doing with this, but these are sacrifices that go back many moons ago. But yet this equipment stays consistent. That's the head with that thing in the eye, just like Summer has with the metal poles, the pinpoints, the fingers, the head, the eye. This is it. They're even showing, and I've shown this before, a free-flowing finger. That is attached to one of those little pin needles. Just like that. The reason I'm showing this, you guys, is because this here, in the search for Summer Moon, week 2, is telling me to tell you guys these are sacrifices. She was sacrificed, and she was touched by the same equipment that I've been showing under the water, in the holes, in the tunnels, in the Idaho 4, Gabby Petito, Kylie Rodney, Michael Vaughn, Harmony Montgomery, Simon, Quentin Simon, Dylan Rounds, all of them, Aiden, Amber Hagerman from Amber Alert, Serenity McKinney, Harmony Montgomery. I mean, shit. Every case. This is what this person is showing, is that. This information that appears so ever so carefully and artfully, and however you want to frickin' say it, I could see it without the red. I could see it without all the shit that they put around it to hide the deep fake beneath the truth. I see the pieces that are cookie cutters. I see this. And my job is to bring it to you guys. Because it's all here. These are the same. These are the same. So whoever the fuck is doing this and trying to just, layer it upon layer, I don't care. Because it's coming through so strong from your local news stations that I physically can't fucking handle it. many hands are here? Look, you guys. This is what they're doing in Summer Moon Wells' photos in this video. That is no different than this. That little photo down there. No different. And whoever this girl is, it doesn't matter who she is. She's being used. Because those little gold pieces that they want you to believe are connected to the desk. Does this look like this is part of the desk? It's crawling up her arm. We've seen these before. These are critters. This is a buggy that carries whatever you guys are trying to tell the story. You're telling the story. Right in here. The little critters are always in your videos. They're always in your videos, and they're always the same. There's no difference between whoever is showing this inside this local news station than what we've been looking at for over 2 years. This, the black fingernail polish. So, whoever's doing the editing, you're fucking up. Because the story is right in the smallest little corner. The smallest little corner. The little hearts that dangle from the white mesh are all over this video. This here dangles all over this video. This is the stuff that you find all over the victims. Each little part of the equipment that they show in Summer Moon's video here, that they want to say is the printer, and is just telling her spiritual story, you guys, that they believe needs to be told in order to rise her up, right? She's already up there. These little pins here are very symbolic. I've been following these. right? Oh, they're not so fucking smart. These are all symbolic. It's these things, these little pin drops that I show you guys all the time. They're very important. But they're different for each case. They're placed differently within the earth for each case. This here is part of the what they call the resolution or revelation, whatever the fuck they call this part, resurrection. This is what you're looking at while you're watching this girl's video on channel 8. This is what I'm showing you. This is what I went over yesterday. I showed you this yesterday, but what I needed to review before I go to the next PDF was that those that did understand, I was just saying, oh, it's just like Rob Bond's machine. I really needed to show you this so you have what to compare it to. So what this girl's doing is putting the same body part type things within the machine, just like the machine was made to do. This is what it was made to do. And the channel is, it's actually the last name is this person, Joe Wells. That can't be coincidence, right? Wells. You could go look this stuff up yourself. There's the videos. Just put it into your search bar, right? It's there. It's there for anyone to look at. But this is what I went over because this story was 2 weeks. 2 weeks after Summer went missing. Maybe 218 views. Maybe. It's not a lot of views. It is not a lot of views. I wanted to also sum up photos pulled together to show you how these news stations videos tell the stories of Summer Moon. And I'm showing you and teaching you how to look at it yourself. Because I have, after this, I have videos to show you so I could teach you how to do it. I showed you the other day how back here by the water, which we all know this wasn't there. This water, people are going in and out of it. The trees here, when you go look at their videos, change. They move together like bundles. So I know enough about graphic design work and drawing and so forth because of my background, right? These are put here. These are fake. So when I'm going to show you the video, they like move like together in a grouping, like one big bushel. We didn't see the Wells house like this, and I went over this the other day. We didn't see the Wells house like this. We didn't see the ground like this, and this was right after Summer went missing. This is This is information that she was already missing. So this is supposedly the very next day, maybe. There were no flowers here. There's nothing planted, nothing. There's no barbecue, and there's like a tent or something back here. The green truck has shit in the back of the truck, as if it's a pickup truck, and the green truck is not a pickup truck. So there's a lot of information that's worth looking at, right? And I'm going to show you in the video how when you slow the video down, it shows very differently. It shows as if they're putting different houses on top of like different houses and placing information on top of each other, but yet they're placing it perfectly. And the thing that we have now that we wouldn't have had if I showed this 2 years ago is I know that what's being placed over this are elements. So they're elements that we've been looking at for over 2 years. And the way that these news stations are showing it is outstanding. It's outstanding because it's showing it so clearly. And in a way that I've never shown it as part of the Wells property, right? But we all know that's been following my station here that this is so critical, but what this is telling me is this is the fucking sacrifice and it's not on the roof. See how they have it placed oh so gently? But when you zoom in and you prop it, this here, you guys, is exactly how they set up the goddamn fucking sacrifices. You know how like everyone's like, what's on the rooftop? Are those bricks? No. Those are bricks on the ground. Those are bricks on the ground. That there represents a sacrifice. Somebody at WVLT is fucking putting this in there. You guys, this doesn't go in a news story unless it gets edited in there. And they can't say, well, I didn't see this in the video. Well, really? Then you shouldn't be doing news production. Because it's your news story. This is your news clip. This is your story. This is Ben Hill Road. This is Hawkins County. This is Ben Hill Road. This is not up on the roof. They layer this in 3. How this works is these are layered in 3. So I've explained this before, right in the beginning. Week number 1, actually it was in the videos of Magical Boardroom, where I'm like, there's something with a red, white, and blue on their house. Well, these are layered red, white, and blue. This is how it's layered, and there's a layer of truth here, and then there's a bunch of crock of shit here, which I call the deep fake. It's the deep fake, meaning that someone layered this shit in here to cover up the truth. The truth is in white. The truth of where that truck is in white. So really what I'm trying to tell you guys is the truth either lies here inside the news stations, or it lies within YouTube, because the information is not the same. But the truth is right in front of us. You see. The truth are within these frames that I'm showing you. The story of SUMMERWELLS is right here. That I'm quite certain on. Yes, Lisa, correct. Summer's poster was on top and on the driveway laying there. So Tim Mullen then came through the property, supposedly, right? And then I think that those were superimposed. They were never really on the house. And the posters told the story. The posters tell the story perfectly. The posters do a great job of it. But if you look here, this is very interesting. But correct, Lisa, you're correct. The posters are very big. This here, for those that weren't here, let me crop this in. What you're looking at, I wanted to blow these up for you bigger so you see them, is I'm showing you this section back here. Same video. Right between the two trucks. I'm showing you what I showed the other day, but what I did was I spent some time taking snapshots so I could show you apples to apples, so they're right next to each other, so it's easier to see it. So these are photos that I took snapshots, quick snapshots of what's between the green truck and the white truck. This here, this is where the sacrifice took place. Again, this is all under Section 107. It's all for entertainment purposes. I don't know. I'm just giving you what I see. This here, this person moves, shifts, all of this changes. This swims. Nothing stays in its place. Back here by the woods, they light up like someone is using flashlights. And people move back and forth back here. But the more importantly to me is, this was summer, that summer touched this part here. This is sacrifice. And that each time I moved the camera, this stuff changed. So it's like looking at what doesn't belong here, like your eyes don't show it sometimes unless it's pointed out. So notice how this one is here and then that's here. How this stick is up here and then it moves and then there's people that show up. See this 5? This is what winds up as a, these are elements that don't change. These are elements I showed you that's on Summer's face. Shapes don't change, you guys. They're elements and what they show you stays the same. Shapes and information, they don't change from, even from child to child. It stays the same from case to case. So like that 5, what pops in my head is like what I showed you on her face. That's a 5. You know, all of this tells the story, you guys. So when people that know what this is look at it, you know, that's what matches this. They immediately say, oh, that's for the resurrection, or that's the sacrifice. No, Lisa, good question, but these are called deep fakes. So many times they layer it in 3s, right? So they layer the story. It doesn't necessarily mean that the water is, this could be the water hole. It doesn't necessarily mean they're on their property. That's why I only go by the elements, because the elements stay the same. The location is the same, but they show it in different areas. Like they could show this in the middle of the church. They could show this, you know, at Walgreens. They could show this in the back of Fred Hill's property. They could show this at Benny Hill's, you know, deck. This could be his backyard. It's the elements that show up in the water. In the water, they could place this anywhere they want to place it. It's telling you there's sacrifice here. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they put water in their backyard. It's a good statement. It's telling me that this is the equipment, that the story is within this news station's video, and it's being told a way that I've never seen it, but it's also being told really clearly. And this is what it's telling. So this is like the water hole. This is how you saw Summer Moon with her sticks in the water, leaving the water hole. You know, they walk and they're Summer winds up walking in the water with her sticks. And I have many photos of Summer like that. So, I mean, this is a bad example, but these are pictures that I have of the water hole, of kids in the water hole. So the water hole is being, the part of that story is being told here. And it just happens to be the whole entire story of Summer Moon is being told in these news stations, right? And I've never seen it so clearly. But whatever they're telling here on the Wells property is what they showed us. This person with this mask on the head is from the water hole. This here, for example, is no different than, let me put this, it's Hawkins, than this picture. Let me blow it up a little. Then this picture here, let me brighten it up, that someone has the same thing on his head in the water with sticks, and they have a mask on their head. So that picture is to me the same as this. Even though they're telling us that this is the water hole, because this came from the TikTok of Summer at the water hole, right? Well, I don't believe anyone that tells me they were somewhere, because that is what keeps changing. The elements stay the same. This is what you're looking at right now on the Wells property. You're looking at this TikTok. That's all. So, maybe the news stations put it out this way, and, the TikTok, YouTube people did it this way. This is a really good one. Here's the photo, and this really shows this situation. And this was Candace's TikTok. So I like to make the photos really small, because then you see that these are two people. Water covers up the true crime. These are naked people in the water. One has a mask on and one doesn't. It's the same information that I'm showing you right now. These are the same situations. This comes from the TikTok, which came from social media. All of these is what I'm showing you, right now in the Wells backyard. So I'm seeing this as the exact same story. So this one here, this photo here shows it really good. And so this is his backyard, and it's someone with a little black mask on, and this is how they showed it, the water hole, and these kids were swimming. That's just a still picture. I have many hundreds of videos of it. But that's their stick. These kids are moving. I see this as their sacrifice. And that's what's going on here. And this just happens to be seen on the news station, which just blew my mind. And you could see it clearly. So those V's, you know, see how you see the V and it looks like someone is holding someone? Those are the sticks. Those sticks stay with them, you guys. Those sticks are part of their sacrifice. The sticks don't go anywhere. Those sticks are what wound up laying on the ground with the Delphi girls. Don Wells here to me shows the end game. This really made my head shake. That this is being reflected in the window. And this is why I made it my cover. Don Wells here is showing the truth. Now, I don't know who Don Wells is. There's a couple different people in here. But the one that's reflecting in the window is the man that wears the black ski hat and is also sneaking around in this video. It's telling me that the Bob Van room with all of these pieces of tools hasn't changed. See, the person being reflected is standing in a room of tools. It has the Ram logo that was found on Kylie Rodney's back of her car. It has a person with a mask on. They have a jean shirt on, and it's right here. It's right here. This is what's in this video. Wait, what page is this? 11? Oh, I'm missing a page. This here is this. This is Bob Van's tool room. This is Bob Van's tool room. I think, oh, I see. Wait. Don't save. Wait 1 second, you guys. I have to put up. One second. There's pages missing. One minute. File, save as. Don's tool shed shows her, and even though I say it's Don, there's somebody, right, that's putting this information in here. There's someone who's putting the information in. So here I'm showing you Don, but there's someone who's sticking this in the window, right? Who's sticking that information in the window. And that's a tool shed. As he's walking up to this tool shed, you could see clearly that Grandis's flower pots aren't the same. You could see that his truck has the elements in it. This video is showing us a different story. It's showing us elements that I have been showing you guys. But it's so crystal clear, and we did not see this in the back of the green truck last time. This never showed. The fuck is that? Those are boxes, you guys. Those are maroon boxes with the number 5s. And WV, whatever you want to call it, has it pretty clearly. Everything in this video contradicts the story that they came up with. It contradicts it. There's no planting of the flowers here. The flowers that we have been shown don't look like that. And again, where's the Mountain Dew box? You guys, I looked for that. I have pictures of the Mountain Dew box. This whole entire situation here is different. There's no barbecue. The barbecue and everything was back there. Oh no. It's nowhere. There isn't even a barbecue. You know how they showed Grandison putting her new barbecue together? It's a bunch of crock of shit. Because we're going to listen to the news station, right? Because it's the news stations that show us the truth. Right? You know what they're trying to tell us? They're the ones who are trying to tell us that we all give the fake news. Well, what's the truth? If this is the truth, then the whole entire story about planting the flowers is a bunch of crock of shit. It's a bunch of shit. This here we've never seen before. Look what's against her RV. Very different. So what you're looking at here is Don Wells. This is the day that he walked over to the refrigerator and started banging it. Remember? And everyone's like, what is he banging? Wow. So there he is. And this is Bob Vaughn's tool case. Now, look at Bob Vaughn's. This here could be Don's tool shed. This here is the room. This here is the same thing we're looking at in the reflection behind Don. There's a person walking around this video with him, you see. Bob Vaughn's shop is to the left. You see how it matches? You see the elements? You see what's popping up here? The truth always shines through. It's telling you that this room is behind a room. It's telling me that this is a hidden room behind a room. This is supposedly the reporter that's with Don doing the story. Now, to the FBI people, I'm going to tell you something. There are clips here that capture another man dressed like Don walking. Right there to your right. There is a lot to be said and looked at within these videos. Who the fuck is that guy? He has a blue hat on, and he just appears within split seconds. So he's not in the video as someone they want you to see. But his hat reminds me of the person in here. But that person also reminds me, by the way, of Candace. Wow, that's really changing. You gotta, like, when I look at this, I just see a bunch of lies. Like, I just, like I could only give you my reading, right? I could be looking at a black spot and I'll give you a reading. My reading tells me that they're panicked. Like, they're just panicked. And this is just completely messed up information because it was just panicked. And it wasn't done well, and there's deep fakes in here, and there shouldn't be, The bottom line is it shouldn't be in here. This information shouldn't be here. This girl shouldn't all of a sudden show up with half her face covered. Like, when I see faces covered like that, that's because they're trying to deep fake the person's face. It's the only time you would see a picture like this is when they're trying to deep fake the person in there. And then the words, to me, I see a different language. I don't see English here, you guys. I don't. I see like Arabic. I don't see English in the blue. It's a different language. And then, you know how I told you they like layer things in 3 boxes? Like right here, this is what I showed you was in Summer Moon's lit up jar. It's like they tell the story. Like, this is very sad. It's very sad. This is awful. This is awfully sad. And these are our airways, and this isn't English. Here's when Don started banging on this thing. Refrigerators, and boxes are a way of moving these victims. This video is the video where he started banging real loud with a stick. It was really strange, and this person that's banging isn't Don. I'm telling you, this is my clairvoyance. Whoever is banging here is the one wearing the blue hat and not the brown hat. It's this guy. Don has a brown and camouflage hat on. This one over here has the blue. This guy that's banging is someone else. So this guy right here is being shown as not Don with his brown hat. He just isn't. He's being shown like the person that's in the reflection. You see the difference? The hats are different. That person is more so person in the darker hat. But what this is, it's telling the story, you guys, and I'm really quite certain these boxes did not show this way in the other videos. This frame here was not like this at all. This dark maroon window-like frame, no way. Did not show this way. No way. Didn't. Let's see. Fridge. Wait. No. So that is not the way it ever has been seen. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, look at his hands. You know, there's a lot here that is telling the story of summer, right? These closer photos of this so-called Don isn't Don. So I'm just saying that the story that's being told here in these local news stations, to me, is way closer to the truth than what you're watching on YouTube. That's what I know. That for some reason, and you know what, when I think about it, it had to be done this way. It had to align this way as far as how I tell the story, because if in fact I would have noticed this first, which I must have because I pulled the images to the side, but I never realized until now how clear they are. Like, it had to go in this direction first and then backwards. Like, you have to make a full circle, right? Look at his hand. Like, it has to be done that way. For me, it does. And see the reflection here in the window, the white V in the window. Here you almost see the head in the trees. Like, here to me is showing summer in the leaves. So when I'm looking at this, I see summer in the leaves. This is telling me summer is in the leaves in this box that was a refrigerator to be used to move her around. This is in Don's video. It's right there. It's pretty obvious. You know, most people, or my throat's getting sore. I need this in my hard candy. Sorry guys, a bit noise. That's a head. It's these leaves are really big deal. That's, that girl shows it, with the equipment. They're sitting in the goddamn leaves. Here's the head. Head smiling. These are leaves. It goes right back to the girl's equipment. Everything winds up in the leaves, the water, blah, blah, blah. There's no way that there's pieces of summer too far away that they don't see her. There has to be pieces close by them. It's the face. At Summer's Hilltop home, Wells showed me a refrigerator he says Summer played. So that's the refrigerator. And none of those flowers, none of that's the same as what we've been shown. This, I've shown this before, is Bob Vaughn's playhouse. All of this, you guys, is Summer Moon Wells. This is the story of the sacrifices that wind up in the leaves. Find this house, which I believe is on top of the hill. This is all within there. They're telling us it's the house on top of the hill. That's what I see. This is from Bob Vaughn. This is a person. This is his head in the machine. But it tells a story to me. This is the story. And it just keeps getting brighter and brighter. Here's the A. Here's the A-frame. You've seen all this before, you guys. It's like all the elements pulled together. This is the machine, Bob Vaughn's machine. This is Summer's head. on the machine. This is Summer laying on the machine, just like this guy is on the machine, laying on the same piece. This is Summer doing the same thing. Doing the same thing. Everything is a cookie cutter. So when I say this is the final machine where they go and lay their head, and I say to you, Summer is attached to this same machine, what I'm telling you is it's going to be the same thing. So when you look at Summer here, if what I'm saying is true, it's a cookie cutter to this. And it is. Same thing. Same equipment. You see it. It's right there. And this, you guys, comes from Bob Bond's video 16 years ago. It's not like someone could say, oh my God, it's like superimposed over it and you just have a reflection because you have five different lenses that are put together and you're just fucking like layering them. Well, this is a whole different fucking YouTube channel. Okay? This is the same machine because that is what SUMMERWELls' head is doing. The same fucking thing. There's the house, there's the A. Here's this part. This part I line right up. Here's the tube that I showed you before. There's something here in her mouth, but this all lines up. It's the same thing. Same equipment. And they use every one of her photos that is a top photo that they used in the news as one of her missing children's photo. Now I could see why I've always shown you guys. I'm like, look, there's an eyeball in her car video and one eye's open. Why is that? Because they're layered together. Someone's done it. So when you look at the videos from YouTube, you're going to see different versions because the final version is everything together. You start unlayering it, all it's doing is telling you the story of all the different stories of SUMMERWELls' missing children, because there's more than one. There's a multitude, many, that are layered within one. And she's not laying on a milk jug was just one of the videos that they needed to make, just like in the water, just like on the swing, just like sitting in the church, just like her in the kitchen, a picture of her leaning over the rocks, a picture of her on a horse. The heads are, I've always showed you guys that. You could copy and paste the heads on top of each other and they're all in the same position. Just like Michael Vaughn's are. They're all in the same position. You could intertwine his photos with her photos. I've had videos on it. Like I could copy and paste Michael Vaughn's photo, his head, over any of these. There's a reason for it, you guys. There's a reason for it. All of these pictures that they used are one. There's no way. There's no way. It's wait, why is this so bright? Oh, so strange. I can't fix the photo of her that's brightening up. It won't. The photo of her that's brightening up, you guys, will not allow me to unbrighten it. See? It's sticking that way. It's an important photo, I guess. So a photo like this, that's her Christmas picture. That's her picture in the car. This is the picture of her with her head on rocks. This is her in the kitchen. It's all together. But look it. She has the zip-up jacket on. And whatever's happening to the photo in the corner, I didn't make it that bright. Like, I just looked, I'm like, I can't even bring it back to the normal photo. It's staying that way. Look, you guys. This is Summer also at the tree during Christmas. It's all of them. Look. It's also the picture of her with Robin. Look at the eyes that show up. But they're all intertwined. You see, they're perfectly matched together. You know, this is probably why I have the blue mark on the milk jug, because the blue mark is part of an eyeball. So when whoever is putting this all together creates these things, the milk jug, which here's half of her face. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it winds up showing one main photo. One. It's it. One main photo is what shines through. Yeah, the jacket that we saw with the Y, it's right there. Like, everyone's like, I don't understand. The jacket under her chin is this and that. Well, this is why. This is why it had all those different versions. Right here. This is the story of Summer. This. Plays tricks on you because it's perfectly placed. Look at her jacket, how now, see how they had to fuck up the jacket. Remember him, like that pink jacket is fake? There's a real photo in here of the real summer moon. Right in here. The pink jacket that they made on those fake milk jugs is fake. Summer moon, a picture of her in that jacket, is straight up just like you're looking at it. It's straight up just like that. With the markings, with all those leaf markings on her. Look at her jacket. Look at how the milk jugs are not milk jugs. Look at this. It's here too. This is her jacket, you guys. Right here. See, I told you this was fake? See, this is fake? And this was drawn in because this is the equipment. This is Summer's body. This little teeny body in here. What you're looking at are phases and all different summer moons, not just one. There's all different children in here. It's the pink jacket, well now blue or purple. It's telling you the truth. We should never, ever have a picture of her jacket like this, unless it's part of the truth. Which this is. Thanks to WVLT TV. You guys see the story here? Each page shows it differently. This is the smaller jacket. These are the letters that I want to know what they are. These are symbols. Symbols that we see. These are symbols that's on that machine. But this is Summer Moonwell's missing children. These are the children without voices. These are the faces beneath the face that we all call Summer Moon. She's not on milk jugs. She's not alone. But she is right in front of us, you guys. She is right in front of us. This photo and this photo are telling the same story. They're just telling it differently. These are called deep fakes, and it's a way that the people that are doing this could tell the story nationwide, worldwide, beneath the deep fake. The layer that we don't see clearly is the layer that they do see. The layer we don't see clearly, you guys, is the layer that's worth the most amount of money. I mean, look at her red dress now. It's not a dress. This is summer moon. This is summer moon. This is summer moon. Each frame that I stop on is telling the story of a SUMMERWELLS missing child. Because beneath all of these pictures, you guys, are different victims. They just used Summer Moon's beautiful angelic face is the poster child to the children you see in front of you. And that's what we try to do here, is to bring all of the Summer Moon children justice. By telling their story, because their story is all the same. Their stories are the same. They all wind up within the same situation. This is the situation. This is just a child's face. These are all children, you guys. Here's your red heart. These are just all children waiting for someone to come forward and say yes. And they just need to say yes. This one speaks really loudly. This one. SUMMERWELLS missing children. Wow. Guys, this is their story. And WVLT TV tells it the best. Watch this. Watch this. It's just me playing with the video. These are all the faces that come through as summer moon. Everything I do here, you guys, is for the summer moon missing children that have been sacrificed, and these are them. These are them. This channel, WCIA Network, is dedicated to bringing these kids the justice that they're waiting for. Think about it. Look. Wow. Just click away. I am going to end it on this note. I feel complete, and we love all the SUMMERWELLS children. You guys, I am calling it a night. You're all so welcome. Thank you all once again for being my sounding board and my strength for me to do this. Hopefully every day. I do miss a couple days here and there. But thank you all. Muffin Top! Thanks for being the wonderful mod that you are. And my subscribers and members, amazing. Thanks for your help and your support. I already have my number 4 ready to go. I'll probably do that tomorrow, depending on how I feel. Oh, all right, you guys. Good night. Thank you. God bless you all. Have a wonderful, fabulous Monday night. And we will talk to you soon. Good night, folks.